that on the
That's
lie.
what I was thinking, but whatever.
And we're
You see, that's what you have to do. You have to use your mind.
Have you seen my stapler?
I talked to the engineers so the people don't have to.
How long did that play for?
Yes.
Special Officer Doofy report.
Judge never bothered me. I'm cleaning my room.
All right. Welcome to. Are we live on IG yet? No.
I think we
Go
are.
ahead, bud. Yes, we are. Go ahead. Bring us in. I have a belly button. Do you have a belly button?
Do you have a belly button?
I have a belly button.
I do. New breaking news. I have a belly button.
What? Got him!
All right. Are we just gonna do clips
Let's say,
all day?
yeah, no,
Yeah, they're
we'll
funny
say, we got
because
a
you know
lot.
what? Because we can't start it until we do spear finger.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Bring it. I want to know.
No,
Don't.
Oh,
dear.
welcome. Oh, you're gonna bring us in, Mustache? Go ahead. You're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
right now. Oh, sorry.
Good evening. It's Friday. We're live. Welcome to the party. Yeah. Let's kick this off.
What's up,
Party
Katrina?
time. Excellent.
Oh my God. You're just out of hand, dude.
We've become a morning show.
Save that till Jamie comes in here. Gotta save that.
I'll save other stuff.
Oh, I bet you will. What's going on out there?
Huh? What?
Can't even
Who?
talk.
When? Where? Why? How?
Hello.
Are we
There we
streaming
go.
to the YouTube channel too?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm on
Yeah,
Matt.
it should be.
I'm on Matt.
Should be.
Who's on mine?
Hey,
I don't see
Katrina.
Matt, act like you're having fun, Matt.
Yeah. Get on my level, buddy.
Are you talking to me?
Can we
Are
get
you
taller?
talking to me?
Can we get taller? Yeah, there we go. Full screen. No,
That's what she said.
Mhm.
that's not applicable.
Until she says it.
I can't join my own live.
Nope.
Ooh, what's a trouser snake?
Oh my goodness.
Please.
Oh my God. That one probably not
Come
need
on.
to get played here. That one probably does not need to get played here.
That's what she said.
No.
Y'all are trying to get us banned.
Let's
That
get
was
a little
actually-
PG here.
That had to have been Wackerly. God dang, I almost messed up. I almost messed up.
Why would you mess up?
Oh man,
Uh.
I double typed that. I fat fingered that one. Hello everyone. What's going on?
Just said it 3 times.
Joey 2
times?
times.
Joey 2 times, yes.
Hey, I'm going to get the papers. Get the papers.
The papers.
Hey, what's the matter for you? What's the matter for you, huh?
What's going on, Trevor? I wish there wasn't that much of a delay. Is anybody paying attention over there? How much of a delay there is?
Yeah, we're about this. What was it? 10 or 15 seconds, I think. Something like
Yeah,
that.
well, Matt's just drinking from his cup. He just put it down on IG.
Wow. That's way back
Yeah.
there.
Way back.
8 to 10 second delay.
Mm.
All right.
Okay, so let me do this. 1.
2. Here comes.
3. And
Just like that.
Yeah.
What? 10
10 seconds.
That's 10 seconds. Yeah. All right. What are we doing tonight? Other than making fun of me.
That's all I came here for.
Hey, dude, that's all the entertainment we need. It's gonna get better as the night goes on, and you get a little more refreshments in you.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
see. We went off on a sideways roller coaster. Yeah.
No. You
Yeah.
went on a sideways roller coaster last weekend.
100% you.
No. I'm talking why we were late.
Oh,
All right.
Oh.
do we
you're
want
talking-
to go back to that as long as
Sure,
we're
we can.
Yeah.
you know,
We can certainly
Let's discuss.
do that.
okay? So we're gonna discuss something real quick on a new item that had just come out by our good friend Tyler from Forged 3D, and it's pretty exciting stuff. So Steve's gonna explain what these items are. So let me.
Oh boy, nothing like being put on the spot
In
here.
today's
with,
showcase, what do we
yeah.
have?
What do we have, kids?
Steve's our expert today.
Oh boy.
He's our
All right.
SME.
Yes, subject matter expert. So our buddy Tyler over at Forged 3D, he just launched. I think it was, I don't know, like 10 or 12 new products, all basically in the same family. So right there in the center of that column, he launched what he's calling are the Sys Grip pods. They're basically what they are is they're vacuum pods, and he's got them not only as separate individual pucks that can be attached to various different MFT style tables, to the rails, as well as to the bench dog holes in the MFT style tables, like Festool's MFT or bench dogs. Anyways, they attach, and what you can do is if you have a vacuum system, whether I believe he has connections for just about anything. So if you have like a veneering bag system or a vacuum pump that you're using in your shop, you should be able to hook it
Bravo.
up to it.
Bravos.
And yes, absolutely, the Grabo. That's one of the things that is nice about these. So you can take these things mobile, and if you have a Grabo, you can connect a vacuum tube from the Grabo on. Many people don't really know this, but on the top of a Grabo, there is a screw that you can unscrew, and you can place a little connector in there. And I don't know if you can see it on that. I think he actually has a photo of one of these pods with a Grabo. It might be on the
Which
shaper
one?
plate one. And he's come out with a number of these different vacuum pods, and this one
There you go.
specifically, yeah. So it's on the back side of that handle on the Grabo. You can connect what are they? The PFTE tubes, very similar to the same style of tubes that are used in 3D printers for the filament to run through. I'm sure that they're slightly different makeup, but they connect very similar to that, and they just press in, and you can turn your Grabo on and create a vacuum suction with these pods. And this is one of the products, the new look products that he launched. It's for the shaper plate, and it's a pretty cool idea. And I think he's going to do some good things with this.
Mhm.
So that's the quick rundown.
While you have your browser open still, Steve, pop open that Tracksaw one, because like that's a really cool application.
Yes,
for that.
yeah, he's got them for the Festool rail system. I know that he's got them for the Festool system right now. I'm not sure if he has other rail systems at this point in the launch, but I think he will probably be coming out with those as an adapter for the pod.
Yep.
And you can get most of these with either single connections or dual connections. Like this one on the screen right here has a dual connection, so you can daisy chain them together. So this one in the center has a vacuum tube connection on the left and the right of that pod.
'Cause I think it said. Let me interrupt you. I think you can attach up to 3 of these, right, together.
I would imagine you could probably
I think
even
so.
more than that if you have a long, like if you have the 9-foot track, you could probably daisy chain 3 or 4 of them, as long as you have vacuum pressure to pull.
Yep.
I'm sure you can do that.
So that'd be
Yeah,
a great application for, I mean, just cheap wise, if you're going really cheap with this system, and then for a pump, you go get like a Harbor Freight $144 vacuum pump, and you'd be able to lock everything
I
down
was
with this.
wondering, Matt, if that would work, if that pump, because I got 2 or
Yeah.
3 of them here in the shop.
I'm
You
sure
just-
it would. I don't think you need a tremendous amount of CFM for these. I mean, what is a Grabos CFM? It's
I don't think it's right. Is it measured in CFM or is it mercury? I
that's
think
a great
it's-
question. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's mercury.
I'm
that is
not sure
measured
either.
but yeah, no, but I get your point. But yeah, it's a form of PSI is what it is. But yeah, you don't need much because I mean we use them at the shop all the time. So
I
for
think
stuff.
most of the relatively inexpensive vacuum pumps like Harbor Freight and some of the others, I think they all usually start at roughly 3 to 4 CFM. And I think as you get, more expensive like vacuum press vacuums, they're, much higher. And I think they get upwards of like 12 or 14 CFM on there. I think it's, I don't know, I think it's like $1,000 vacuum pump, their high end one.
Yep.
That's more than enough if you're, taking 4x8 sheets and creating your own 4x8 sheets of plywood or something.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
see this working on a CNC table. You strategically place you some pins, so you have
Yep.
your square, and then cut some dog holes in your CNC table, and set these in, and you can have a vacuum table on the cheap side, really, because I mean, these things are at a very good price. You could take these longer ones.
Yep.
I can already visualize how I would set it up on my CNC table, and you're pretty much. I mean, I'm gonna have to try this. It's pretty
Yeah, I'm definitely
cool.
interested. Because you could probably mount this on the side if you had dog holes like going vertically.
Well, you can
Uh,
because he shows it like this. You see, so this could be.
Yep.
So you know how Jay Bates makes that on the Avid. He makes that whole apparatus to run. You could mount on the Avid. You can mount this to the upper rail and one to the bottom, and then set up your dovetails for it to do box joining for you, or dovetail
Yep.
joining, or whatever you
Yep.
want to do on your CNC to do joinery, and not
Yep.
have to build that whole system up front that goes on the extrusion.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a pretty cool deal. You just put you some reference markers out here to where you're vertically square to the spindle, and you go to town, and set you some stoppers to where it's the same, set you a way to stop. And
Mhm.
these things would work pretty neat.
Yeah, I know he's been working pretty hard at these and getting a bunch of different versions, and he's working on some pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, he's a
Cool.
smart guy.
Yes, super smart.
There you go. Awesome.
So that's why we were late.
Yes, we got caught up chatting about that, and then someone said, "Oh, hey, look, it's 10:05 or 9:05, wherever you are in the world."
No, Central Time doesn't count.
It doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything's Eastern.
Eastern. It's all
Yeah,
Eastern.
It's,
Right.
it's all Eastern. Yeah.
We'll just let them think that, right, BJ? They're not important.
That's
Oh,
all
who
right.
made us taller before? Do that again. There
we
we go. I like it.
Oh,
Perfect.
The camera.
Oh,
Why did y'all give this guy?
maybe we gotta bump BJ's upload privileges down.
Maybe we need to increase his volume because I can't hear him.
He's
'Cause
just
I'm
said
not
he.
talking.
Yeah,
he's
he's
reading
not saying
something.
anything.
Sorry, I was reading.
He's doing the
something.
Silent Bob thing.
No.
Oh,
Mhm.
All wisdom just locked up inside.
What's
No,
up, Vern?
I'm trying to figure out the melting temps for
Hey.
HDPE so I can make, because I've got all those shavings and I'm gonna try to melt some into one of my skull molds and make an HDPE skull.
Ooh,
So I was
nice.
trying to figure out the melting temps.
It's not very high.
It's like 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really low. Yeah, I was talking to Peter Brown about it yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, as long as you don't actually like melt it." He said there was no smell whatsoever. So I was like, "Okay, cool." Like you've done enough with it, you would know.
So what's melt it mean?
Like over 400 degrees.
He likes to do it.
get the papers. Get the papers.
Give it to me 2 times.
I'm a sacrifice, King Julian.
So what's going on, everyone? Let's change it. What do y'all got going on?
Well, I finally got done sanding that 7 foot by 3 foot walnut table.
Sand in the place where you live.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I hate sanding at this point.
How
He's
many
like a
gummies
little
did you
kid.
have
He's
tonight?
like a little kid. He just ate a blueberry. He was over there like this, just
A blueberry muffin.
muffin.
I was,
Ooh,
Can't have
one
that.
little,
He
one
had
little
his arms up-
blueberry. One
He had
little
his arms
blueberry.
up like, get away, and he just.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
You're jacked up on something.
Try decaf.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! Got him!
Ah,
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
good lord.
I am not really doing a lot in the shop because I've been at work, but I think tomorrow I'll be doing some casting. I got a bunch of bend blanks I got to get out and knife scales, so I'll be casting that tomorrow.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna try to finish this project up, tie it up, clean the office, maybe get the laser plumb back in. Don't shake your head, Matt. I can see you. And
If it's still in the box, it ain't gonna happen.
because I would like to try to shoot the YouTube video for the H2D on Sunday,
Ooh.
I say we call it the H2D2.
but we have the
Ooh.
podcast, so I want to make sure I have enough time to properly get all that videoed
I
and not
think
be
you.
rushed.
I think you need to print out a casing for the outside to make it look like R2D2.
Yes.
How about
Yes,
I get some wood filament so that I can cover it in a box, so that way it'll be.
Do you mean cardboard? Cardboard.
Yeah.
I could just-
There you go.
Just wrap it in cardboard.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I could just use the box and just that way it'll.
Wait,
put
isn't it already
put
in
me
the
at
box?
ease. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to take it out to
It's
use it. And I
workable
could
in
just
the
use
box.
the box it
Cut-
came in
Cut the
and
front
just
out.
put it over
Yeah.
it, so
There
it'll
you
put
go.
Cut
me
the
at
front
ease.
out
So
so you
while
open
I'm
the door.
staring at it from my camera here while I'm doing the podcast, my heart will be at ease because it'll be in a box.
Mm.
Yeah, I asked this fool earlier about a Festool drill, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got that." I'm like, "Well, do you like it?" He's like, "I don't know. I never took it out of the box."
He's got about 3 or 4 of them. Don't let him
You
lie
asked
to
the
you.
wrong. You asked the wrong person.
I know.
Which
Yeah.
drill were you looking at?
He just wanted to come off recon, so he's just like, buy
Yeah,
the
they
drill, buy the drill.
The CXS12.
Oh, I love that.
I've never used it.
It's awesome. I
I
love
don't
it.
know why I keep giving these guys ammunition. It just comes up in conversation, and I'm like, he asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. I've never used it. I got busy, and I got put on the shelf.
I think that's probably the drill that I use the most. It's so nice and small and compact, and it just fits right in your hand. I use that more than the CSX 18. It's a little bigger, full size battery. It's just heavier.
So the other one,
And I love that style.
That's what she said.
I love the style of that drill. That handle. It's way nicer than the T handle drills.
Mm.
As he drinks from his Festool cup.
Yeah, I think I did that on purpose.
Yep. Mhm.
Link in bio.
Ah, damn, he beat me to it. We're gonna have to put a banner that says link in bio. We can scroll it across the bottom when Steve starts talking.
Oh my goodness.
A bunch of exclamation points.
Steve I dot design or Steve dot I design. Which one is it?
It's stevei.design. So just
Go.
open up your web browser of choice and go to stevei.design, and that'll take you to my link tree. And my affiliate links are right there. Link in bio. Nice. Nice.
Link in bio.
That's right. So for all your Festool needs, you can go right to US Tool and Fastener. Yeah, they sell more than that. They sell Milwaukee.
You do?
GRK. They sell Shaper. Whole bunch of stuff.
Here,
And then you can go to.
There you go.
That's right. You can go to Forge 3D. We were talking about them. I got an affiliate link for Tyler over at Forge 3D because he and I partnered actually. We partnered on a adapter for the Festool CSC 50 table saw, and it actually works with a lot of their other saws and attachments as well.
Nice.
So you can find that over there on Tyler's site as well. Hey, Don, how are you?
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
How you doing, Don?
Doing pretty good. You guys?
Can't complain.
Doing
great.
wonderful.
Good.
There you go. So how's it going? Hey, BJ, you getting bad weather up there, bud?
Nah, it's just raining right now. Most of the bad weather's passed. I got stuck in a customer's house for about 45 minutes today because we had to park so far away, and it comes pouring down rain, and the customer's like, y'all can just hang out here. We're like, yeah, I appreciate that. I got a quarter-mile walk back to my car, and we're looking out the window, and you couldn't see the road. It was raining so hard. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't see the lines in the road, and it's like, whoa. It's like, yeah, let's just chill here for a little bit.
Wicked hard.
Wicked hot. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Oh, Drew Whitworth sent me something.
Oh.
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
Here comes the TV noise.
Here comes the what?
Nothing.
TV noise, background.
No, that was Joey the other day with the echo, not me. Fuck that.
Oh, there we go. Not
There we
even
go.
30 seconds in.
Trying to keep this clean, JR.
He
Oh,
didn't
damn.
even make it 10 seconds. He didn't even make it 10 seconds.
He's so
Jesus
pretty.
Christ,
That
man.
lasts
Oh
forever.
my god.
That lasts forever.
Come potty mouth from the West Coast over there. Mr. Potty Mouth.
Well, the West Coast meets the East Coast next week, so it's going to even be worse.
Oh, Scott popped in too.
Oh, where's he at?
Down
He's
below.
right
Figure out
there.
how to get on
is.
here. There he is.
Hey,
There we go,
Scotty.
Scott.
Hey, look at
Hello,
that.
Scott.
Scotty
Got an
doesn't know.
even number of
That Fiona
squares.
and me.
There we
Yeah,
go.
we're even. Yeah.
Why were we singing that in the Three's Company tune?
Coming on my door.
So one more, and I think we got all the Hollywood squares. Right? One more.
Oh, I don't know if it'll nine. I don't know if
369?
it'll do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll 333.
3, 6,
might.
9. Damn.
One more time.
Who's
Good
gonna
Right.
mess it up?
Good Lord.
Mother of God.
Mm-hmm. Glittering and.
Consider it as.
Hey, come on now.
no. There's a reason that says not for live.
Oh, look at that. Who played that? Matt.
Negative Ghost Rider. That pattern is full.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Just the facts, Jack.
You can't handle
The fact of
vermouth.
life.
Yeah, a couple more in there that should probably be played on lives.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nah. All the rest of them are pretty appropriate.
We are angels. That never happens.
Yeah. Just me, I had to blow it already.
Exactly. Thanks, JR.
Sorry, guys.
It wasn't me.
That's what Shaggy said.
I don't even think you made
Pew, pew, pew.
it. Matt's gonna have to give you some of this.
Minute,
Damn
Joey
you,
says,
BJ.
had a smirky face.
Oh my gosh.
You really
No,
messed up
it's
with
the
it.
other one where Matt's all. Well, you think you can milk me?
Can you milk me?
Yeah, you just grab it by the teats.
Hey, Fokker,
Oh, nibbly bibbly.
Oh god.
I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost all the viewers on Instagram.
They gone.
Oh god.
Yeah.
They gone.
It's just us.
Well, it's mostly always us on Instagram, anyways.
they're all in here.
Yeah, right.
I don't think
Oh.
Instagram pushes it out anyways. You have to go share it yourself because since we're streaming to it, I don't think they're gonna move it anyway.
No.
I can't. I've
Yeah.
refreshed mine several times. I can't even see it. You actually have to. You have to go to the page.
We should have asked somebody that was in there. How did it actually tell them that we were live, or did it notify them?
Let's say you
I
went
didn't
live.
get. I didn't
I
get
see you as live at the top of my,
Right.
scroll.
Yeah.
It
So
said
do I.
that you
Left,
went
right
live.
scroll. But I didn't get
sometimes,
any.
sometimes it'll push a notification saying Joey Stillblade is going live.
Nope. I didn't get one.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get one
Never
either.
got it.
Joey got important.
Hey Matt, I made a fresh batch of empanadas. Hopefully the hotel room has a microwave.
I should. Yeah. I better have
I
a
was
fridge and a
so-
microwave.
I was so hungry when you put that on there the other night, JR. That was just cruel.
Watch. I'll turn the camera around. Watch this.
Oh, don't do it. I've already eaten tonight, so that's okay.
Oh,
My goodness.
Nice.
Love it. Heart attack on a platter. Gotta love it.
You get that right.
They're so good. So what is everyone up to tonight?
Not
Hanging out with
custard.
you jokers.
That's about it.
About 6
That
foot
is?
3.
Trying to stay dry.
You getting rained on?
In between showers, Matt, you should be getting wet.
Mm-hmm.
You should be getting what rolled through here all afternoon.
Yeah. It
We
came in pretty hard just a little bit ago.
We just
Yeah.
put vehicles up. My wife messaged me right before we started and said we're supposed to get some pretty bad stuff come 10 to 11
Oof.
coming in.
Any hail?
Where you at?
I hope not.
I'm in Northwest Alabama.
Okay.
South Texas.
What?
West
200 miles from you, Matt? Roughly.
Yeah, about that.
Something like that.
So y'all are getting the leftovers of what hit Dallas today, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was.
PJ,
fun.
you're in Dallas area?
Yeah, North Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
They can't just say Dallas. They got to say North Texas or North
Yeah.
Texas.
Hill country.
Hill country south of them.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
between-
Hill
I'm way
country.
north. I'm 4 hours north of Hill Country.
So Dallas is pretty
The
flat.
one hill?
Hey, no, there's
It's a mogul.
some hills. Yeah.
We call them mountains. Excuse me. We don't have the privilege of what y'all boys have. And there's actually trees over there.
It's a mogul.
Hey, I've got
We get stuck on it with our skiing.
Whatever.
Speaking of trees, I bought a 30-foot limb saw the other day. I'm kind of excited to use it.
Do you have trees that damn big over there?
You
I've
cut
got
what are you cutting tumbleweeds?
I've got two
That's why he called it a
40-year-old.
saw.
He's sitting
got
on the
two
ground going in a
40-year-old
circle.
Yeah. No,
30
no,
feet away.
I've got 2 oak trees in my front yard that are taller than my house.
What's up, Victor?
And it was funny. Every time I got it out the other day when I was off to use it, I was like, oh, let me go out here and trim trees. And I'd walk out and I'd hear thunder crack. And it's like, yeah, 30-foot fiberglass pole in the air. Probably not a good idea. Let's go put this up.
Adversity.
It only hit you once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just stings for a little bit.
Mike,
Wouldn't have to worry about trimming that wouldn't have to worry about trimming that tree anymore.
Just make sure you're rolling cameras, because if you don't video it, it didn't happen.
Viral.
What's that movie, The Great Outdoors? I was
Yeah.
struck by lightning 55 times.
That's pretty good, Scott.
You guys ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's classic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that Dan Aykroyd?
Chevy
No.
Chase.
Dan Aykroyd.
Chevy-
Yeah.
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 It's Chevy. Yeah. Chevy Chase.
And who was the other guy? The big guy.
John Candy.
John
Yeah,
Candy.
John
Andy.
John Candy. Yeah.
He's the one.
Big Bear. Big Bear, chase me.
Yeah, Big Bear.
Hey, I just noticed something in Mustachio's shop. Do y'all see something that moved in his shop?
The borax box fell over.
The borax, it fell over.
my.
It fell over. He must have got it unglued.
He must
He must have just ripped it off.
The epoxy finally failed.
He's got
not even
debond.
here.
He's over there with debonder. Just
Yeah.
Only you would recognize that damn borax.
It has been bugging me since the first time I saw his shop. I'm sorry. And that was a long time ago. It's like, come on, man. And look, his little scroll saws over there and everything.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
Hey, JR. I was just gonna ask you what
Okay.
you're watching on TV.
The wife's watching Friends or something like that.
Friends. So, Joey, you plan on trying to unbox something for once? And what are you doing this weekend, JR?
Me? Got a golf tournament tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and another one on Saturday. And they got
Do you ever
tournaments
just like?
Saturday and Sunday.
Do you ever go out and just grab their golf balls and throw a different golf ball out there just so they're searching forever, but they keep on seeing that one?
But
He just drives around and throws some marshmallows.
No, what's funny is on our 10th hole, it's next to the range. And so when they hit it, they'll slice it into the range and all that stuff. So they'll go into the range right there and look for their golf balls. And they're like, which one to use? The yellow one. All my range balls are yellow.
Oh, but they know which one's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got them all ball marked and all that. Hey, Matt, we all noticed something about your shop when you got up and moved.
What?
Turn around.
Your borax box
Turn
fell over.
around.
Every
My what?
now and then.
The
Your
borax
borax
box.
model.
Your borax
Your box. box.
Oh,
It's
is
leaning
that
over?
is that important?
That's what we've been talking about every time we look at your shop.
So BJ
And he's already toasted.
It's
Wasn't
been a
it
monument.
epoxy to the table?
You boys like Mexico?
stand it up again. There you go.
There you
Stand it
go.
up.
Thank
Stand
you,
it
thank
up.
you. That was
There you
really
go.
bugging me.
Lot
There
better.
we go. There we go.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Okay.
we can move on now. We can continue the show.
No.
We've
No.
avoided a crisis. Oh God, here comes
You
the
will
sword.
not. You will not mention the borax.
Mm.
Hey, is JP recording this already?
He's not on yet.
He's not on.
Okay.
He's not awake yet.
About 10 o'clock, he'll make his appearance.
It's already 10 o'clock.
No, it's not.
No, not for him.
9:38.
Only Texas time matters, Matt. Not 10
Negative
o'clock
Ghost
yet.
Rider. Negative Ghost Rider.
Oh, 10 o'clock Texas time. I was like, no, he's like five ahead, right? Here?
6 for them. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Six.
their time frame
Six.
doesn't matter.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning over there.
Number three. Number three.
Oh.
So what are you
Going-
doing this weekend, BJ?
I am working tomorrow, and then Sunday I'll be in the shop running the CNC all day.
Ooh.
Yeah, finish that. I just got to finish up those HDPE panels. Which I did a little work with the file. And I got it down to an hour and 10 minutes a side versus an hour and a half per side. Or no, hour and 40 minutes per side. So yeah, I'm down to an hour and 10 per side. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Maybe
Nice.
get that dust collector straight piped in.
No, they're still. I don't think it's going to ship till next week.
I'm talking about to do it before it gets there, so you can do a comparison of actual straight pipe to what they do.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Before and
Well,
after?
yeah, I'm going to do the before and after, but no, not with. I won't be able to do it with HDPE, unfortunately. If that's what you're asking.
A lot
I don't
cooler
get-
if he did.
Sure would.
But yes, it is official. I'm announcing it here. The partnership and collaboration with US Ducks is happening. They are sending me a whole shop system.
Quack, quack.
So yeah.
He's like a little kid, man. He's like a little kid.
I can't help it.
No, you can't. No, you can't. He's either interrupting you himself or with a meme. One or the other.
My hands are right
They
here.
can't get anything out without whacker. God, I'm gonna end up JRing this here in a
That's
minute.
all, folks.
See? Just can't help himself.
Oh boy.
You need to go put Matt in the corner.
I already did.
Yeah, I already did.
Are y'all over here soft pitching them to me like the 20-foot arc over here?
Jesus.
2 minutes for roughing.
Yeah. But
what are you doing this weekend there, Steve?
I got an event tomorrow morning, and then I got a family event in the afternoon. Celebrate my cousin's birthday, and my birthday was the other day, and then Sunday, just hopefully getting back in the shop and continuing on with some shop organization stuff. And I picked up some scrap this week, some scrap ebony from a buddy of mine locally. That I need to finish my guitar that I built a week and a half ago out at Mark Adams School of Woodworking. So I can finish that. There's a couple spots I need to fill with the ebony dust and some CA glue and sand it back and get it all looking pretty. Final sand, and then put a coat of Rubio Pure on it.
Ooh.
Let that dry and probably add a second coat and then maybe buff that out. And so that's what I'm working on this week.
Nice.
We'll see if I get any of it done.
I feel like a degenerate after that. He's
Why?
like all proper, and I'm doing all this, and we're over here just cutting up. And he brings
That's
it
on the
back
list.
to,
I didn't say I was going to get it done, Joe.
I'm actually doing stuff, guys.
Yeah, I like y'all. Like,
Hey, Joey, if it makes you feel any better, I've still got about another week and a half to let the spindle marinate in the box for the Onefinity. The red line spindle came about a week and a half ago while I was away at that guitar making class. So it's still sitting in the box, haven't even opened it.
So my bamboo Sunday will be 7 days, so I still got another 7. Even though I really want to take it out of the box, I got 2 weeks. But
Oh, I was so hoping you would clip those straps on it last night.
Out. Yeah. Now, Mustachio, what are you going to procrastinate about this weekend?
Sitting on the couch. No, I got some drill holders hung up today.
Took you 3 days.
Took me 2 days. I started that last night.
A day of screw.
it took him an hour just to get them up
Jerk.
earlier. God.
Jerk.
Watching him put those drill holders up, I've seen less suspense in horror movies.
It took Stephen King longer to describe the squeaky
I
stair.
think
Less time to describe
Matt's
the
rubbing
squeaky
off
stair.
on BJ because he still can't say a damn thing before either one of them interrupt you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Interrupt
I'll
eponymous.
I'll just go.
Hip,
Hi,
Hi,
Matt.
Matt.
Hi, Matt.
anonymous.
He just takes himself out. Hi.
So you got the holder held or screwed up there. What else you got going on?
I want to make a little like battery charging station under that same shelf that I got there, and then try to straighten out what I got in here so that I can actually like run. I can run the laser, but every other tool is a complete not going to happen. So yeah, still organizing.
Did you get the
That was-
podcast mugs done yet?
I haven't even bought them, dude.
That's a no.
Patience, Joey.
Yeah.
Patience.
No, I'll get those done. I
I'm
did.
just
I did.
messing with you, dude. Just messing with
Are you though?
you.
No, I'll get those done. I'm going to Vegas on Monday for work, for a little work convention. So I'm getting back Thursday. That should be a good time.
4 days in
JR.
Vegas, 5 weeks recovery.
No, no, no.
Gonna go update his hooker license.
What?
I don't know.
Moving on.
Scott, what do you got going on?
Well, the two mantles I finished this last week. They got taken out and installed today.
Nice.
I've got to start working on the legs for that big 6x6 bur oak table.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to start putting a channel in this epoxy off the Riverport table that I got to finish up. I'm hoping to get 2 of these tables knocked out this month and out the door, because then here in the end of June, I'm going to have to start on them conference tables. So
You got to seal the bottom of that somehow.
yeah.
What are you going to use?
The bottom of what?
The tables. So when,
Oh, yeah,
before you do the epoxy.
Before I do the epoxy, you lost me.
So do you do a seal coat with epoxy? Is what he's.
Oh yeah. So when I do epoxy, I get everything laid out where I want it, and then I usually mix up, a couple of quarts, and then I brush everything so it's everything sealed, and let that cure for a couple of days before I do my pour. Even when I do my deep pour, I always, if it's a 2-inch thick slab, I'll pour that twice. I'll do 1 inch at a time.
Yeah.
That way, if I run into problems, at least I can hide it later.
So I know nothing about epoxy. Is that first coat just regular epoxy, or is it a penetrating epoxy?
So I typically will mix up just my regular, it's a 24-hour super clear epoxy is
Okay.
what I do. It's not a penetrate. Now, if I get into where you get some rotten wood or some areas that are real soft,
Funky.
then
Yeah.
I'll use a penetrating epoxy and let it really soak in good. Because you're better off doing that, because when you go to pour your epoxy in, you'll just get bubbles and micro bubbles, and it'll look like crap.
True story.
Do you wire wheel like anything like in the center part?
After you're done, after I put my seal coat on, I've got one of them fancy what do they call it? It can take bark off, and it's just like a big sanding wheel. It flings around.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I'll usually hit it with that and scratch everything up where the epoxy is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Give it
So
something.
it'll bond too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, that's about all I got going on.
Cool. What about you, Don?
Plenty of work.
I've got some laser work to do. I got a cutting board and a grill scraper that I need to personalize for a client. I'm going to clean up the shop. I've been busy all week and the last 2 or 3 weeks getting ready for craft fairs, and finally got most all the product done that I want to get ready for the first wave of that kind of stuff. So it's time to break down and just clean the shop because it's just a mess. It's filthy. Then try to just, like I said, clean up in there and get reorganized for the next wave.
Hey Don, when you do your dragons, how
Yeah.
long is the print on those?
It depends. Shortest ones would be typically 7 to 8 hours. Longest ones can be like 13, 14.
Yeah,
Some of them.
I did this one for
Like
my son the other day. It was like almost 12 hours.
A multicolor one with a lot of color changes. If you're doing them, if you're changing like 3 or 4 different colors, I've seen those take, and I don't do very many of these. I've seen those take 30, 32 hours, 34 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, they take forever.
I have this one.
That's why I
filament.
don't do them.
I have this one filament. It's red and black, and this one took like almost 12 hours. It's actually pretty cool, and I made it to the full size of the bed. I larged it all the way up as much as I could. It's pretty good.
That's pretty normal for a good sized dragon or snake or something like that. That's pretty normal. But like I said, those multicolored dragons, me and my buddy that I do these for, his pricing is like $2 a machine hour plus filament. And when it gets above 12, 13 hours, that gets to be to the point where it really disqualifies a lot of people. Because a lot of people spend 30, 40 bucks on a dragon, something for the kid and all that. You get above 30, 40 bucks, people aren't going to be dropping that kind of change on a toy. So when you get above 12, 15 hours, you're digging into profits a lot.
Yeah.
So when you get into a 30 some hour print, and by his formula and all the with all the color changes, all the filament that takes, because that could easily be 350 grams of filament too. By the time you do all the pooping and all that kind of stuff, by his formula, you're looking at having to charge $80, $85 for it. Easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's what he would pay you for that dragon, or that's what he would sell that dragon for?
That's what he would have to try to sell it for on his pricing formula.
Wow.
And there are very, very few people that would want to spend that.
Yeah.
So we pretty much stay away from those.
Where are you doing your fairs and stuff at?
He does them all around town. Like tonight, he was at First Fridays in Florence. I was supposed to go, but it rained, and they gave us the opportunity to determine whether we wanted to set up or not. And since most of my stuff is wood, rain, not a good mixture. So
you got a good finish on it, you'll be all right.
Yeah, sure.
Get you something to float on.
I opted not to, but he went tonight, and he said he did pretty good tonight. He did $400 or $500 worth tonight.
Nice.
So just I mean, that kind of stuff, like monthly stuff, but he and his wife travel around and do this almost every weekend, and they do. I mean, this is their. I think this is their thing they do together, and he goes mostly like between here and like Huntsville. They try to stay north of Tennessee River, I guess. Here in a little bit in southern Tennessee, but pretty much every weekend. And of course, you do better around the holidays, but they stay busy all summer doing it.
Nice.
So I'm going to do some of it. I'm going to do 1 or 2 a month. I'm not going to do like they do, but I'll do 1 or 2 a month just to kind of dip my toe in the water and see what happens. But
yeah, we're supposed to have one here tomorrow, but I'm not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Quitter. Make a big thing.
I might have picked up a client this week at the golf course.
Oh,
And
nice.
he does a couple reunions a year for like the sheriff's department and some other places. And he's looking for something. Maybe like, you know how I did those acrylic keychains for the golf course?
Mhm.
Something like that, or out of wood and all that. So I said, just let me know what you have in mind, and then let's see what we could do. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got a. Speaking of epoxy and stuff, I got a call the other day for a guy that wants to. He's built a 40-inch by 11-foot butcher block countertop for his outdoor patio or outdoor kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to embed challenge coins that he's collected over his career in military and law enforcement. And he's like, yeah, it should be pretty easy to do that. And originally he just wanted to put the challenge coins on top of it and just cover it in epoxy. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. And got to looking at it, and yeah, an 11-foot by essentially 3.5 foot, roughly 3.5 foot wide epoxy pour at one time with tabletop. That's not going to be fun. And I was like, I told him, I was like, hey, if we're doing this, like, we're going to be doing this at like 1 o'clock in the morning because we need it the coolest temperature it can possibly be.
Yeah, and then don't you have to tent it as well because you got to keep all the bugs and everything out.
Yeah, because they love epoxy.
It's in a like the patio is screened in, so we should be okay. And I told him if we do that, like we need to run like a bug zapper all day long inside it before we do any kind of pour. But we're going to be babysitting it all night long, anyways. You know, just until it starts to really gel up, but. Yeah, I reached out to Wisebond today and I was like, hey, any advice? And they're like, get as many people as you can because you need all hands on deck for that because you're going to have people mixing and people pouring at the same time. So it's going to be crazy.
You'd almost be better to wait until the wintertime.
That's what I said, but he wants it done as soon as possible. So I think I might be
4th of July barbecue.
Yeah, I think I can convince him to let us just hang on. Just to let us do the challenge coin first and then wait till it cools down to do the major pour.
So my question is there. So it's the actual pour is 3 foot wide,
40 inches wide by 11 feet long.
So there's no wood in it. It's just all epoxy.
Hang on just 1 second.
I think it's a butcher block that he's trying to cover up.
Yeah, butcher block countertop is what he's saying.
Yeah, cover up with challenge, which shouldn't be that bad.
No, it's not going to be bad at all.
No. I mean, literally, I've done that 8 foot by 30 inch. That was the hardest part about it is waiting for it to get to the point where it's going to be set up and trying to keep the bugs out of it. I mean, literally, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, because this is only going to have to be what, ½ inch deep?
Yeah,
3/8. Yeah, I mean, it ain't a lot.
You won't even need to use a deep pour for it.
No, you just use a tabletop. Just use a tabletop epoxy, and then use your Baker. I use Baker trowels. Is what I use. Makes it real easy to move things where you want to. It's going to level out, but I mean, this way you can get everything for the most part.
He'd be better off putting a little bit of a layer down first, sand everything up, put one little layer down first, and then as that's setting up, get his challenge coins in there where he wants.
Mm-hmm.
That way they're stuck in there.
Yeah.
And then come back 2 days later, scratch all that up, come back 2 days later and do the final pour.
Yeah, that way they wouldn't float, right?
Yeah, so I was thinking either that or you're going to have to glue them down or something.
Well, and the other reason by putting that layer down first is you're sealing that butcher block countertop.
Right.
That way bubbles not coming out later.
Mm-hmm.
You got no bubbles and floaters.
They don't want no floaters. So okay, what I miss? What questions was I asked? My wife had gossip. Sorry, and
so
she's
that's important.
Well, she's 4 or 5 glasses of wine in, and you just can't say no. And
Cheers.
And you sleep on the couch.
Well, I'd asked if you were doing a full. There's no wood, but it sounds like you're just doing this over the top of a butcher block table.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a butcher
So,
block. Yeah, an 11-foot long butcher block table.
The best thing for you to do is to go in there. You're going to want to put a form around it, a little like a half-inch form or whatever, how thick you want to do it.
Yeah.
But the best thing for you to do is to put like a little 1/8-inch layer across everything.
Mm-hmm.
When that starts to set up, put your coins in where you want them. That's going to do two things. That's going to seal the butcher block so you don't get bubbles later.
Yep.
And it's going to attach them coins so they're not going to move around on you when you do your pour.
My plan was we were going to lay out the coins, and I was just going to take a router, lay out where the coins where he wants to put them, because they're circles, squares, rectangles. They're all kinds of different sizes and shapes. Have him mark out where he wants them, and then come back in with the router and cut a recess, the depth of the coin, put those in, seal the coins, and then like the next day come back and do the top coat and do like an 1/8-inch top coat over the tops and sides.
My only worry is that you're going to pop that open, and you're opening up chambers for air to come out of the wood, and it's going to pop like crazy.
And is this end grain butcher block or is this face grain?
Face grain. And that's why I was also thinking, because then the other option is after we cut the recesses, seal that with epoxy, let it cure, then come back, put the coins in, seal the coins in place, and then do the final pour over it. So it's not, I'm not there's no way I can do this in a day. Like this is going to be a multi-day project.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, like I haven't even given him the price on this. I have a feeling once I give him the final number, it's going to be, we're going to go another direction. And it might just be, hey, let's seal the coins in with epoxy, and then let's just put on some kind of, polyurethane or something over the top.
I mean, another option would be you could seal the wood with a sealer, like, poly or something of that nature. Put your coins down there. I'd still put some glue or something behind them just to hold them, and then come back through and put your top coat in. If you're trying to get it done in a day, I just don't see. I mean, you're still going to do about 3/8 of an inch, be able to cover the coins.
Well, and that's why I said recess them, because I feel like if they're not recessed, since it's going to be, a patio or outdoor kitchen type thing, stuff's going to be sliding across it. Eventually, you're going to knock those coins loose, especially with the wood moving and everything.
Well, no, you would pour the epoxy thick enough to cover them completely.
Cover it completely. Yeah.
If you left them on top.
Because once you're pouring, you might as well pour enough to cover them completely.
And unless you want to be one of those jerks that leave it just where it was a lip there for the quarter, and people sit there and drunk guys try to pull the quarter.
I think the part that concerns me is he did say a couple of his coins.
At the end of the night, you're pulling your pocket knife out and you're digging for that son of a bitch.
DJ, if that's the case, then like you said, recess them in a little bit. Use
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at some of my
put in there.
Yeah, some of my challenge coins are 1/4 inch or more thick.
Yeah.
You're talking and if he's got some bigger coins, I mean, I've seen challenge coins almost a 1/2 inch thick.
Well, then, I mean, what you're looking at then is you're going to have to, if you're going to recess these things, you're going to have to seal that pocket.
Yeah,
because literally you've just opened up your grain for it just to pop through. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, which it's all gonna have to be sealed because it's raw butcher block, so it's all gonna release air.
Yeah, but not as much as if you take that face grain off and you get down into the wood.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I said cut the recesses for everything, seal that with a thin coat. Once that's cured or tacky, then put the coins in, seal the coins in place, and then come back and do the final coat the next day.
Yeah, I think you're gonna do. So when I do my tabletop epoxy,
Mhm.
I'll have 4 different pours in it. So I've got at least over a week just in doing tabletop. Guys that try to do it as fast as they can, it ends up looking like crap.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to plan on at least 4 days.
In mine. I had 4 days in mine. It was only 2 pours, but it was still 4 days because your tabletop takes longer to set up. So you're 11 hours just before 11 to 12 hours before it starts to get where it's not wanting to move. And that gives you from that point on, you can start, you can do another pour on top of it, and it tells you can do that. I don't recommend it, but you can.
I sand it before I put another one.
So now you're looking at 48 to 72 hours before you can sand it and put a decent sand on it to be able to put another coat on it.
When I did my top out here, I sealed it, let it set up completely, come back, scratched it, then I poured my inlay, let that set up, and then I came back and I let that set up, scratched it all, and then poured the rest. And that was over a week period because you don't want to rush it because you'll be sitting there popping bubbles around the clock.
Yeah. Which
I've got 2 different size trowels. So I do a seal coat. I come back with my smaller trowel that's got the V trowel that's smaller. It gives it like a 30-second is what it's going to give me. Once that sets up, I sand it, and then I come back with my orange trowel, and I think that gives me an 1/8 inch.
All of those being plastic, correct?
Correct.
There you go. I've seen people try to use steel before.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop off because I gotta get up early in the morning.
All right, man.
JR.
See you, JR.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, and doing the math, it says it will take exactly 3 gallons to do it, to cover it. At I don't know what the depth is. It's saying.
So you're not planning to build a mold around it. You're just going to let it flow.
No, that's the thing because he wants the sides and everything covered too.
Yeah, I do the same thing, but I put a plastic bag down, keep it raised up, and then once it dries, just come back through with your sander and sand off all your drip.
Well, and that's the other thing is we're gonna have to seal the bottom too, because if you do the tops and sides, you're gonna get moisture up to the bottom, and that's gonna pop the epoxy over time. So.
And you might get hopefully you won't get any kind of mark where it'll get moisture up into it, and then you'll see the moisture underneath the resin if you don't seal it properly.
You better plan on like 4 or 5 gallons.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna get more, but
because when you run that over the edge.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're talking close to $500 just in epoxy. I mean, I don't have the exact number, but we're talking several $1,000s to do this.
Do you have a shaper origin, or are you just going to use a regular router to run
just a regular router? Yeah. I mean, and where I can, I'll just use a Forstner bit. I'll just bring my Forstner bit set.
I know where you can buy a shaper origin. Just throwing
link in bio.
I mean, if somebody wants to let me borrow one,
I know a guy that's trying to sell one right now.
If Shaper wants to just let me borrow one for a couple of days,
I know Jimmy DiResto was sending his Shaper origin all around to different people.
Well, I mean, if you buy it full price, you can borrow it as long as you want to.
Yeah. Tell you what, you buy it full price, you can keep it.
Well, Mike was wanting to sell his.
He wants to borrow. Just tell him it's borrowing.
Yeah.
Hey, you wanted to buy that Festool sander a while ago. Just add another $1,500 and you got yourself one.
Shit.
There you go.
I have a very nice Porter cable router that I'm very proficient with when it comes to cutting pockets.
I was sitting here the other day and I was like, man, I don't have enough routers. I don't have enough routers. And I had I have like 4 or 5. And I'm walking through the shop. I started out.
I get pulled into this.
I literally started out I wanted to be Norm Abram, where he had enough routers where he had all of his bits, so he knew what router to grab based off what bit he wanted to use. But and then I was walking to the shop and I'm like, I got a router over here too. Oh, I got one over here too. Oh, and there's one on the flattening sled, and there's one on this. And I had them on other tools. It was an eye-opening moment.
There's a guy out of Colorado that does that. Mike Farrington.
Lebowski.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sounds
he's got
familiar.
he has
Yeah, I
several
know you're talking
routers like
about.
that. Yeah. I love his videos. He just doesn't put out a lot of stuff.
No, he's got some good stuff. Some of the stuff he does is really it's made me think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not hard to do, right?
I don't think most of the time.
But this.
Got him!
Dang, that scared the crap out of me. I wasn't expecting that. You got me.
I love it. I got two heads turning on that one.
It's like, what?
I just thought there was fireworks outside. I'm like, who
Me too.
is shooting off fireworks?
What'd he do? What'd he do?
He did the knock knock.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. I couldn't hear it over you laughing.
Damn, you are deaf.
Yeah.
I'm not looking
I
now.
I hear it now.
I didn't do it this time.
DJ just trying to get revenge when we got him.
I swear it sounded like
He
a
was-
gunshot.
he was jumping up.
Combat
It does
mode.
sound like gunshot.
He went into full combat mode. No, don't show it. Don't show it.
No, negative.
I'll show it after the live. Did I show you that, Steve?
No.
I'll send you a picture.
No, he got off. He got on that before.
He got on after.
After, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of 3D of stuff, I talked to old Drew Witt today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he replied to one of my stories.
Nice.
Yeah, because I used that router dust collection thing that he made,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, oh, I gotta put a round over on this tabletop. That's the perfect thing for it, and it was a 64th of an inch too short to go around the edge of the tabletop. And so I posted a story, and I was like, well, it almost fit. And he sent me a message this morning. He's like, yeah, send me your address. I'll send you the new one. I'm like, I appreciate that, buddy. I was like, you realize I'm an hour down the road from you. I could just come to your house and get it. But, you know.
I will say, I don't know him, but he was. I was just chatting with him the other day. He was on Mike Coffey's podcast last week. It was actually a really good segment, good conversation, and he had mentioned that he wanted to make a guitar. So I just reached out to him and kind of briefly told him about my experience at Mark Adams and everything.
Well, have I told you my guitar playing?
No.
So I have a chunk of walnut that is the split. So when they cut down the tree, and as the tree falls, it's the center of the tree that gets ripped apart as the tree's falling. So
the pith?
Not the pith, but like, so when they're cutting, when you cut your whatever into the tree so it falls a certain direction.
Yeah, your notches.
There's usually the hinge piece in the middle of the tree. Yeah. So it usually just gets shredded apart. Well, the guy that I get a lot of my big walnut slabs for, he had one laying on his trailer one day when he came by to drop off some slabs. And I was like, hey, what are you doing with that? He's like, oh, it's trash. I'm going to throw it in the burn bin. Do you want it? I'm like, yeah, sure. I threw it in a mold and I'm going to do clear epoxy all the way through it. And it's big enough to make an electric guitar body.
Oh, nice.
And so it's going to, it'll have all that ripped apart walnut with clear epoxy and, all that cool stuff. So yeah,
cool.
That's the plan. Now it's been sitting in a mold for 3 or 4 years now. So
waiting to be poured, or has been poured and hasn't been demolded?
Has been sealed. And when I went to do the final pour, when I went to pour it, I had another job come up that I needed the epoxy for, and it was like, oh, I'll get to this later. And yeah, that was several years ago. So
yeah,
I figure at this point to get it out of the, because it's in a wooden mold, an melamine mold with tuck tape or whatever.
Yep.
I'm just gonna have to cut the mold off of it. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna come loose after this many years. It's probably
Oh, I have a solution for you.
What? Leave it there.
Sell it as is.
Sell it as is. You get a mold with your guitar body. No. So yeah, I figured I'd start simple with an electric guitar before I went crazy with the acoustic, because I have heard that it's not an easy. I mean, heck, you were at a week-long class. and
Yeah,
most
I was.
of it was prepared for you, and it still took a week to build it.
No. It wasn't mostly prepared for me. The only thing that was prepared during this class was the fingerboard was pre-notched and
Okay.
partially radiused. It would have taken another day in class for us to learn how to lay
radius
out
it.
all of the
Yeah.
pattern and make sure that everything was on point for the correct spacing of the frets, and cut those. And so that wasn't done. And the other thing that was not done was the rough shape of the neck. So
Okay.
the neck was square, but it looked like a neck. Like you looked at it and you said,
You
"Oh,
could tell, yeah.
that-
You
that-
just need to,
yeah, someone took a big board and they cut out a neck shape." And there was a little bit of post processing that was done. The headstock was rough cut, so it was
Okay.
flat on the top, and it was the proper width, and the truss rod slot was routed.
pre-drilled. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Other
but
than
as far
that,
as like, were the pieces for the body already down
flat
to the right
and
thickness?
they
Really?
they were pre-thicknessed, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So
So there's
I
still
mean,
a lot of work that went into it.
oh, absolutely. The top was one complete. I happen to have one complete top, so it was full width. So I didn't
wow.
have to glue that up. But my back was a match set that I had to glue up, and what else? My sides were straight. We bent those in the bender.
So that's the. Do y'all? Is it like? Do you steam bend it or?
You don't steam bend it, but you heat bend it. So there is, if you look at a guitar and you were to split a guitar straight down the middle and
Mhm.
take one half of it, that upper bout, waist, and then bottom bout, that shape is on its side. And what you
Okay.
do is you take a piece of spring steel, and then you take
Okay.
a thinner piece of spring steel. Then you put your side in, and then you put a heating blanket, and then another piece of spring
Okay.
steel, and then that goes in the form as straight. And then what you do is you have pieces that are on springs that you slide down the shape of the guitar, and you
Okay.
have a centerpiece that you basically screw down like a pipe clamp. You push that down in the center,
Okay.
and that ends up creating the waist of the guitar, which is that part that indents like the hourglass.
Why heat bend, not steam bend?
Because you don't want the moisture.
You're okay. You
Um,
don't
be-
add the moisture to the wood.
Exactly, because otherwise you're going to end up having to glue it, and then if you wet it, I mean, I will say this: you spray it very lightly, right? Like you
Okay.
missed it, but
Just
you're
like
not
you're
soaking
popping the
it.
grain on a cutting board.
Right,
Kinda.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And that all that steam is going to go away from that mist.
Okay.
And I should say the other thing is we do wrap it in tin foil after we mist it. So I guess in essence, yes, it is a little bit of a steam bend, but it is not a steam bend like you're not creating a steam box, putting it in,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
taking
Okay.
it out, and it's 100% humidity. It's not like that.
Okay.
I would say it's mostly a dry heat bend.
Dry heat bend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
there's just a
from
slight
what
bit of moisture.
yeah, and from what you said on the other podcast, it was pretty moist in the classroom to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to keep it, 45, 50% humidity the entire time, just to, maintain stability in all the wood, because the
Yeah.
last thing you want to do is, build when it's super dry and then it's going to expand and it's
Mhm.
going to crack, or have it super humid and then when it gets cold in the winter, it's going to shrink and actually cause more cracking.
Yep.
If the way it was explained to us in the class is it's better to have less ambient humidity than more ambient humidity. So he's in upper Indiana, and he said he basically only builds in his non-climate controlled shop in the winter for like 3 or 4 months is when he builds all his guitars. Other than that, it's too humid because he doesn't have climate control. And you have to build in an environment where you allow for a little bit of expansion and contraction, but not a lot, right? Because you want to build it while it's a little bit drier, so that if you sell this guitar to someone in Texas or in Florida where it's very humid, it will expand a little bit. But if you go the other route and it contracts, the contraction is going to cause more splitting.
Yeah.
More so than the expansion.
40 to 50% humidity is pretty much standard for down here. Like my shop stays between 40 and 50% humidity. Now, granted, with all the rain, I've been having to run my dehumidifier to keep it down that low because it got up to 70% humidity. So I get that, but that makes sense because it's kind of that relative number in between anywhere it could go in the world or in the country.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
exactly.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah. So, but to get back to your statement of it's difficult, I would not say that building an acoustic guitar is difficult, because there's not a lot of special things that we did that most woodworkers are not already, have skills in, right? I mean, you're using a router, you're using hand planes, you're using chisels, you're using sandpaper and rasps. Other than that, it's like sand, glue, CA glue, and that's it. I mean, yes, there are certainly specialized jigs that not everybody's going to have, and that's what makes it a little bit more difficult. But you can completely buy pre-radiused and pre-slotted fingerboards, and that is probably the hardest part, is laying those out to make sure that your scale length is correct for the model that you're building.
Okay. And you had said that there was people in your class that had no woodworking experience?
Correct. There were at least 2 people I can think of that had zero woodworking experience. One gentleman, he was an older gentleman. I think he was like 77. He had a machining background, so he was familiar with a little bit of it, but he was not a woodworker. And he and the other gentleman that had never done any woodworking, they both left with fully functioning, very well built guitars. Some things took them a little bit longer than everybody else, but they stayed late a couple nights and they were all caught up each day. And it's not really a difficult from a skill level. I think the difficult part is it is a process, and it is you have to do A before you do B, and you can't do C until A and B are done correctly, right? Not just done, but correctly. So it is a little bit more finicky, and it's like everything else, right? The more error you have at the beginning, at the end, that error is going to compound with each successive step. So you do have to be a little meticulous in order to get everything right, but it is not difficult.
And so, and with the class like that, because I feel like, and I've seen a lot of stuff about that school. did they have were the instructors? I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
Just say it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase it where it doesn't sound where it makes sense. Were they giving the ones with less experience more one-on-one time, or was it kind of everybody kind of had an even amount of time with the instructors, or is it like, hey, no, Steve, you got this, you're pretty good, you know what you're doing. Let me go help this old boy that has never done this before, type thing.
I think the short answer is yes. There was the main instructor and then 3 assistants, all of
Okay.
which you could, ask them to come over and help you out at any point. I certainly asked them a number of questions just to verify.
Okay.
I felt as though I knew exactly what I needed to do, but at some points, we'll start the morning and he'll say, okay, we're going to do this, then this, then this, then that. And he does like 4 demos in a row in like a half hour. And then he's like, all right,
Okay.
go to it. And then you go to your bench, and what took him 30 minutes to do takes you half the morning, right? Because
Okay.
you don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of times where, I called over to one of the instructors and I'd said, okay, I did this. Now I think I need to do this way. Is that correct? And they're like, yep. And they'll walk me through it if I ask them to, or, he'll say, just call if you need any help. And I certainly called them a number of times just to verify, but I didn't feel as though I needed them to really show me a ton.
Yeah.
Certainly there were some things like I messed up in one spot and we had to fix some stuff, right? It's funny because the instructor started out the class with basically he put an acronym on the board, and basically it was, don't worry, it's wood, it can be fixed, right? And that was kind of the mantra for the whole week. And then the last day he erased the first D, and so now it was, worry, it's wood, it can be fixed, right? Because now we've got a
Yeah.
fully functioning guitar. So it was kind of a nice little mantra. But I had screwed up a little spot that we had to go back and we had to fill with some sanding dust and some CA glue, and but it came out perfect because the instructor that I had originally said, hey, I'm the guy in the class who just did X. He kind of chuckled and he goes, there's one in every class.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, now how do we fix it? And we chatted about it. And then one of the other instructors came over and kind of helped me do it.
Yeah.
And, an hour later, I went back to the first instructor that I showed and I said, take a look at this. How does it look? Can you see the spot that I created the error in? And he looked at it and he kind of flipped it back and forth, and he looked at it and he goes, is it this? And I go, nope, not even close. I'm like, he's like,
Nice.
well, I guess you fixed it then. So yeah, that was it.
Well, they and something like that, they don't want you, like, their goal is to make sure that you're not going to fail
Absolutely, 100%.
at all.
You're
They
correct.
want you to leave with a fully functioning guitar, have a good time, because if you're not having a good time, if you're stressed, if it's miserable, you're never going to come back, first off.
Right.
And, that's not what they're there for. I mean, I've never heard a bad thing about that school. Like, I don't know one other than, some classes can be a little pricey, but you walked away with a several $1,000 guitar.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like,
absolutely.
you couldn't have bought that guitar for what it cost you realistically at the end of the day. I mean,
when you look at the
travel and everything.
experience and everything.
Oh yeah,
100%. I mean,
yeah.
When it was, it was the last day and we were kind of looking over the guitar with one of the other instructors, one of his assistant instructors, he looked at me and he kind of looked at it and he said, if you were to buy this guitar, it would probably be a $4,000 to $6,000 guitar.
Jesus.
And
God.
that's before it's even finished, right?
For an acoustic guitar. That's crazy.
Right. I mean, there's certainly a market for stuff, and that is not very expensive for an acoustic guitar. I would say that is now the median price for a entry-level custom guitar, right? And a higher end production guitar, like from, Gibson or Taylor or Martin. Ovation, Collings, those types of guitars. That is probably an entry level Collings guitar. And
Jeez.
I know of a gentleman local who is a professional luthier, and he makes very nice guitars. And his average sale is about $20,000 a guitar.
God, I'm in the wrong business.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it's like everything, right? It takes time to get to a level where you're producing
Yeah.
a quality like that. I mean, I'm sure once I'm done with this guitar, I will probably reach out to him again, because I reached out to him about a year ago and said, "Hey, I'm looking to learn how to make some guitars. Do you offer any type of, apprentice, or can I work part-time for you in the shop and learn from you?" He wasn't really interested in that. And he, gave me some tips and pointers and said, "You
Yeah.
might want to check with these folks." And he said, "Good luck." And so I'll reach back out to him and say, "Hey, this is
Look
what
what
I
I
did.
made.
What do you think?"
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's going to look at it and say, "It looks like a first guitar," right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's also going to be very nice about it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it takes, like everything, practice and
Mhm.
years of stuff.
And he's
of learning.
probably not churning out a guitar a week.
No,
At
he's
that
not.
price. That's probably a long process. And
No,
the
I
wait lists for guitars like that are probably insane.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's probably got a year to 2 year wait list at a
Oh
minimum.
yeah.
And I think when I asked him, I think he averaged about 12 guitars a year, 12 to 16.
That's not bad.
Right. And he's a one-man shop, and that's his full-time job.
Mhm.
Very
You know,
cool.
he's got a 2-car garage, and that's what he does it all in.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Steve, going back to when you were talking about heat bending the sides of the guitar and everything, what's the thickness of that wood?
That's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head. I would say it is 3/16 maybe.
Okay.
It's not very big. It's not very thick.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Maybe an
That's
eighth,
cool.
eighth, 3/16.
And that's solid wood, or is that
3/16
laminated?
is pretty thick.
Yeah. It is solid. Yep. So the top that I had is a Sitka spruce top, and the sides and back are Pomelo sapele. I think that's how you say it. It's it's basically a mahogany family.
Right. Fabric mahogany. Yeah.
Yep.
The gentleman wood shop said depends on the type of guitar.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah, I was while I was chatting, I think there was someone that mentioned that they had made one. It was probably that gentleman. And of course I've accidentally clicked off and lost that chat.
For my intro to the acoustic guitar world, I might build a ukulele.
Check out their class, because they actually have a ukulele class that the
Really?
same gentleman does. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he
And
does.
I don't play. I love guitars. I love music, but I don't play.
I don't really play either, quite honestly. I know some open chords, some scales. I can't play a full song. And I'm like,
I used to know the very beginning of Over the Hills and Far Away.
Yeah.
Was it.
I could do what is it, on the range? I don't know the song. Shit. Open range or
occasionally,
something.
occasionally I
Yeah.
make some noise and it sounds like it's supposed to. Yeah. So the gentleman who does those classes, John Rustler, he does, I think, 5 separate classes that he rotates through throughout the year or 2 years. So the one that I made is an OM model, He also does a dreadnought model, which is larger.
Okay.
He does a parlor guitar, which is smaller than the OM. He does a ukulele class, and he does a backpack guitar class. And then he also does a couple other classes, one of which I'm going back for in June. It is to learn how to make two jigs that we used. One is the side bending jig, and the other is the jig for the router that's used to cut the purfling and binding slots on the top and back. So that's a 2-day class. It's a weekend class, and I'll come home from that class with both of those jigs as part of the class. And then he also does one that is guitar setup and tuning, which is actually the class he goes over the proper way to cut the slots in the fingerboard and radius the fingerboard, and also everything you need to go through to set up the guitar. Now, he did a brief version of that the last day and a half when everybody had a fully functioning guitar. And that's one of the things that he did is he specifically went to each individual student's bench and worked with them for 15 to 30 minutes to teach them how to set up their guitar. So, cutting the nuts, the slots in the nut, making sure they're the right height, checking the strings, also filing the saddle, making sure the saddle's the right height, making sure the intonation's all there, and do everything that needed to be done to set it up so that it played properly.
Cool.
So that is actually a couple day class on this other one that I'm talking about. It's a combined creating the fingerboard and the layout, and making sure that that's all set. And you actually go in that class. He said you make a couple of fretboards, and then go through the setup in detail, like much more detail.
Yeah, I didn't really. What you're talking, I was looking. I did not realize there's 8 different styles of acoustic guitar.
At a minimum, I would say there's probably more than that.
Because there's the jumbo, which is even bigger than the dreadnought. Yours was you said you did the OM, so the orchestra model. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, then there's the parlor. There's a backpack. There's a ukulele. I'm sure that there's a couple other versions in there, and that's just in the steel string. And then you get into classical guitars, which are similar, but I don't really know anything about them. They're not steel string.
I had it was made by Harmony, and it was half and half. It was plastic and steel string guitar.
Interesting.
Because it was the guys at the guitar shop called it a baby guitar. Because it was, and they said because of the size, and I was like, oh, well, can't we just put steel strings, do all steel strings? And they're like, no, because of the size of the guitar, to be able to tune all 6 steel strings, it could damage the guitar. So when you get under a certain size, the strength of the guitar determines that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, you can still play beautiful music on it. He goes, the downside is you will tune it a lot more because of the plastic strings. He's like, you have to make sure to detune them way more than you would a full steel string guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish my brother ended up with that guitar. I don't know where it's at. It was my aunt's. She gave it to me, and then it got passed to him, and
Yeah, Burton in the chat on IG said that harp guitars are the sickest.
Harp guitars?
Harp. Yeah, I would assume that it is similar to a harp. I mean, there are also guitars that have like many, many strings. Like the average guitar is a 6-string, but they have 7, 8s. They have much more now, especially in the electric side.
Yeah, so it looks like a harp and a guitar put together. That is freaking cool.
Yep.
$3,500, $3,000. I hear some basic ones for like $800. That's cool.
Yeah, it gets pretty insane when you start talking custom guitars, especially with tops and backs and sides. I mean, you can get some like, very, very highly figured woods for like insane prices. Like, there's supposedly this tree, they call it the tree, that was found buried for like, I don't know, it's like 3 or 5,000 years. It's been buried, and someone took it up and created the figure in it was amazing. And I've heard that the one match set for the back was going for upwards of about $8,000 just for those two thin pieces of wood.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm sure that other people have sold it for more. And yeah, it's called. I think it was called The Tree. I think Stu Mac may actually have a couple of sets of that on their site. I think it was like eight or 10,000 or 12,000. But yeah, when you start getting into highly figured woods for Lutherie, they can get expensive. I mean, $800,000, $1,200 for a nice set for exhibition quality.
Wow.
It's like anything. I mean, that you can throw money at everything, and there's a specialty for everything.
Is that chocolate Jif? Got distracted by peanut butter. Sorry.
Peanut butter and chocolate mix.
What are they going to make with that?
I don't know.
All right, boys. On that note, I'm going to jump out. I got an early morning and a long day tomorrow. So,
Steve,
check out that picture I sent you, Steve. I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's something I'm working on. Something I'm building right now. It's not woodworking related.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Right.
See you
later. Thanks for the info.
See you, Steve.
Oh. Okay. Well, we had an hour talk about guitars. What's our next subject?
I don't know.
Well, y'all are a lively bunch.
Mustache, what do you want to talk about?
I opened you'll be proud of me, Joey. I opened
The box is upside down.
I opened this saw blade cleaner that I bought 6 years ago. So it's been marinating for a long time.
So my question on that is, did it
6 inches?
Did you not open it because you couldn't find it, or because you just didn't need it?
So maybe it was 2 inches.
Yes.
Maybe his table saw has been covered with epoxy this whole time. He finally has a need for the cleaner.
Yeah. His saw blade's been clean all this time.
Because he hasn't used it.
Yeah.
Got a CNC on it.
Oh God.
Now see, Matt, I was much nicer about it than they were. I just laughed at what they said.
Where's the CNC at?
On top of his table saw.
On my table saw.
Holding it
Collecting
down.
dust.
You're still not using that thing yet?
No, I don't even. I need to make a table first. So we're still moving.
Just a box with
You need a
legs.
saw to make a table, but your CNC's on your table saw. It's kind of a paradox, is it not?
Yeah, it's a waterfall.
Chicken egg.
It's the waterfall.
Yeah.
So all that wood that you stacked underneath your miter saw is going to have to come back out to make the table?
No. That's fancy wood. We're not using that. That's too fancy. Too fancy. I did like the idea of doing a live edge table for the CNC, but I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I like the gentleman's wood shop's comment. If you send your blades to get sharpened, they come back clean.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's true.
We were talking about that the other day, and I need to buy a new blade. Right now I'm running just a general purpose blade. Any of y'all run a combination blade?
Yes.
Or do
Mhm.
you like
Yeah.
that better than the general purpose?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that because
I run
it's
two
cheaper.
blades. I run a Forester, and then I run a rigid. I think it's called a rigid, but one's an
There's
AT.
a
An AT.
there's a saw stop set on Amazon. It's 2-blade set.
Okay. Well, I was going
For
to
like,
get because I really like the CMT blades. They've really done well for me.
excuse me.
I just like them.
Go buy your CMT blade then.
I honestly, I think they're quieter than the saw stop blades. They just seem to run quieter.
What does it matter? It's loud regardless. It's a
No.
table saw.
No,
He'd like. I
quiet.
mean, I can't hear any of my equipment over the dust collection anyway. You know?
No, that is
Steve.
true. Yeah.
Steve. Check out the Tinru blades. They're link in the bio.
God.
He's still. Oh man.
Yeah.
U.S. Tool and Fastener.
There you go.
What's the company that'll sharpen your blades if you send them back to them? Is that Forrester?
Festool.
Yeah,
Festool does that too.
Forester
So
does
does
it.
Forrester.
Well, so will CMT. Yeah, CMT will sharpen your blades.
Oh.
But I've only
Oh.
got one saw blade, so I need to get another blade to send my other blade off to be sharpened.
I think Festool you could subscribe, right, Don? I've
Yeah,
never really
you
read
can.
on it. You subscribe and you can just send them.
I'm about to find out. I got one I need to send back.
I've been pretty much watching when like the Freud's table saw blades go on sale.
Yep.
I buy them. I run them pretty hard and I pitch them and I throw a new one in. I don't waste time sharpening them.
Can you sharpen the original Festool blades or saw stop blades?
Yes.
They're sharpened. Okay.
I'm pretty sure you can send them back in and they will do it. The gentleman woodshop said he runs general purpose blade. Freud ice blades are where it's at.
Freud ice blades.
I don't know if I've run the ice.
I wonder how many teeth that is. What would a general purpose be, about like 60 teeth or something?
General purpose is 50 teeth. Or no,
50.
general purpose is 40 teeth? Hold on. No. Is mine? Yeah, general purpose. The blade I've got is a 40 tooth.
Okay.
Blade, but the combination is a 50 tooth blade with with a flat top. It's with left right angle and a flat top grind in the middle.
It depends on the diameter. Yeah, because there's different blades for different, right, Mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get a blade specifically for like box joint that it's flat across the top. They're not pitched.
Yeah. Yep. Or like back
Specifically
and
for
forth.
doing dados or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
No, I have a dado stack, but as some of you know, I'm lazy. And
No, but they make a single blade that's
No.
just basically square on the carbide instead of
versus being like back and forth.
yeah.
Yes, that's an alternative
leaves-
tooth, an AT, alternative tooth.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
And there's flat tooth.
So I don't know. I tried to Google that Freud ice blade, and nothing's coming up.
So, yeah, I use the Ridge, the Ridge carbide blade for a AT, and then I have a Forester for my flat blade.
I still have a few Diablo blades. I have the original fucking. Oop! I have the original.
What'd you say,
I
Jared?
have the original. I have the original blade in my Delta.
Yeah. Well, I have a dado stack for my saw stop. I just don't have the dado
break
or the insert.
I need to stop procrastinating. I don't want to. I don't like. I've got the dado stack on my Powermatic, but I just will not go do it for the saw stop because I don't want to change the damn cartridge out.
See, that's
just leave it on the
kind of my
single deal.
thing. That's why I like looking back. I was like, man, I really should have kept my rigid table saw and just had that as a dado saw.
Oh man, I forget who the YouTube guy. Oh, is it Frank Hallworth? Hogworth?
Hallworth out of California.
Yeah.
He got two table saws.
Back to back, and like one has a dado dedicated dado stack, and the other one has like the regular blade.
Bourbon Moth.
Yeah,
did
Bourbon.
that too.
Yeah, he does that too. He has a dado saw.
Well, he did that in his shop. I don't know if he's going to do that in his new shop or not, but he did. He had that set up previously.
I mean, if you run a lot of dados, it's worth it. I don't.
If I ever found another saw stop, I'd get rid of my Powermatic and just buy another one and just set it up just strictly on. I don't want to go buy a new one. But all the ones that I see on,
you have 3 places to store things. If you have a third one,
bring it to SplinterCon also.
A lot of boxes.
Dude, that Powermatic is solid cast iron, man. That thing is heavy.
Is that 5 horse?
All cast iron table, solid, straight across, 53 inches of it.
Good grief!
It's heavy.
1,000-pound freaking saw.
Yeah, my 48's that way. Yeah,
Heavy. The base alone, just all the trunnions and everything. I mean, it's just freaking. That thing is stupid heavy.
All the trunnions.
That Ford may get scared. You throw that on there with the joiner. May fall through the bed of that Ford.
Whoa! Easy there. No, it's got the
Fix it again, Tony.
It's got the tough bed spraying liner. It's fine.
Oh, that's stronger than the aluminum side on the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
Wrecked the truck and the bed liner's the only thing left. The beer can just comes apart.
They showed one that was in an accident, and it like Coke can that the whole cab of that truck. The only thing it looked like the passenger and the driver, it left just enough. God dang camera.
I guess I can't say anything because the new Toyotas are freaking composite beds.
Toyota, was that what's their big truck? Big boy,
Tundra.
Tundra's the big boy. That's the big boy truck.
And my Tundra, the bed it's plastic.
Those ain't big boy trucks.
Hey.
Oh no, it's a full size. Sorry, Joey, full size truck.
That truck will do anything you want it to do.
Sorry.
Especially now that I got those assist bags, those lift assist bags on the rear end.
Sorry, I couldn't get an F-350.
Pull Hey, I got one of them.
20 miles to the gallon running empty, 8 miles to the gallon pulling a trailer.
And MGGs.
My Dodges were at 5.
5 miles to the gallon?
Yeah, and I don't get 20 not pulling. I get more like 15.
Pulling a 40-foot tandem axle goosenecks.
Jesus, yeah.
Loaded with about 20 round bills. Get about 5 points.
Now, pulling my 5,000-pound camper, I get about 8 to 10 miles to the gallon, depending on what gear we've got. But yeah, running empty down the interstate, that truck gets 20 miles a gallon all day long.
Does that have a trailer?
My 3,500 Duramax now, it's quite impressive. I think I got like 19 miles to the gallon, just going, just nothing, just straight.
Downhill with the tailwind?
No, just cruise control. Just going.
I get 22 on my F-150.
Oh,
pretty good for a diesel.
I get right at 18.2 on my Ford F-150, but it's jacked up. So
jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that at all. What's my average MPGs? I'm
Well,
16.
you don't go anywhere, so
I don't
you
go
got to get
anywhere.
that thing out and burn it up.
Yeah.
burn
You
the
can't,
smoke
you
out
can't,
of it.
you can't
But
do
you
much
know-
backing down the driveway, Matt.
Wait.
But you
So-
know that truck, that my new truck, it cuts you out at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It's
governor.
governed.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a governor on that? You got a kill switch?
Well, it came like that from the factory. I was like, "What the hell are you doing? This is mine. You can't." I don't know if it can be
I don't
taken
know.
off. I haven't researched it because I'm like,
Not after 90.
when I first got it, my boy was with him and he's like, let's see what this thing can do, and it'll set you back in the seat. That thing will get up and go.
Let's say
And
my
I got up to 90, and then it just governed out. And I was like, I almost took the truck back because I was so mad that it governed out. I was like, he looked at me like, what?
As big
can
as those
fix that.
trucks are, it's not surprising. And I think it's funny. My old freaking, I had a 2002 Chevy Cavalier that it was governed at 115 miles an hour. It was either governed at 150 miles an hour, or that's all the horsepower it had.
But the bad thing with that truck, though, you don't realize that you're actually going that fast.
That thing floats. I bet it
Mm.
floats down the
I was
freaking
going to say,
road.
not something
I
that
mean,
big.
it's pretty nice. It was like you don't feel like the older trucks, man. When you're doing that speed, you can like feel vibration
yeah.
and stuff. This thing's just smooth as hell going down the road. I gotta
Yeah.
watch it sometimes because like company vehicles are governed, right? And now you get in them and you just go to the floor and you're gonna do 60, 68, 67 and a half miles an hour. It.
Not that he
And then
knows that.
And then you get in your personal vehicle and it's like you're not even paying attention. By the time you look down, you're like at 85, 90, and you're like, oh God.
Well, I mean, in Texas, you're just going with the flow of traffic at that point.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That's every state.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got that loop around Austin. If you're not doing 90, you're getting run off the road.
That freaking toll road,
Yeah.
dude, it's scary, dude. It's like those people just like what is it, 80 on there?
It's 80. I've done 100 in a Tacoma.
It's
on that
80
toll road.
and you could be sitting at 80 and they blow by you like you're sitting still.
Yep.
It's an all-out freaking race down that thing.
I was coming down I-20 just a couple days ago, heading towards Atlanta, and I was doing 80, like always. And I was just got it on cruise control at 80 miles. A tractor trailer passed me and made the truck shake. I'm like, are you kidding me? Made my truck shake, swinging by me so fast.
Yeah, I was going down, what is it, George Bush out here, and speed limit's 70, but and you do 80 all day long, 75, 80. I had the cruise set on 75 and in my personal vehicle, and I look in the rearview mirror and I was like, that's a black and white Tahoe. Huh. Fuck, that's a state trooper.
Oh.
Like,
What'd you say, JR?
Yeah, black and white anything.
Yeah. Fudge, that's a state trooper. Anyways, and he's coming up quick. And I'm like, well, I'm the only truck out here, so he's coming to get me. And
we were on I-10.
He passed me like I was standing still.
We were on I-10 one night coming back with a 40-foot tandem axle gooseneck. I don't know what we had on it. And back up there past Bernie, Texas, coming back toward into San Antonio. And you could see the chicken lights coming way back there. And this thing was just, you could tell, at a high rate of speed. As you get closer, you could see it's a semi. And in my truck, we had two CB, right? And this guy, I had that Dodge out on set on 80 because it's 80 down I-10. And this dude blew by me like nothing. It was a Peterbilt, black
About to ask
Peterbilt.
if it was a Peterbilt.
Black Peterbilt with this massive ass excavator on it. How he was still on the road at that time because it sticking off. And he just went, I mean, same thing. I'm driving and of course that semi goes by me like I'm sitting still.
Yeah.
And I got on the CB and I'm talking to him and he had that bad boy set at 98 miles an hour. He said, I'm not going to hit 100, but I can easily go over 100. And he was just getting it. Shoo! with that big old load, and I'm like,
He had places to be.
He had a girlfriend at home he was trying to get to.
I was
Yep.
like,
Or
no,
her
nothing
boyfriend.
allowed
one
in
of the
front
two.
of him or an animal because it's.
Boys paid by the load, not by the hour.
I've been home in a month.
I mean, he just
Blasting
flew
radar
by us
love.
like nothing.
What's the name of that movie where they're what's his name's
Smokey
locked
and the
up in
Bandit?
jail? No, he's locked up in jail, and he goes, "That kid is mine, and that kid is mine, but I've been in here for 12 consecutive months, and that baby is Caucasianus Americus." Oh yeah.
God.
Oh,
Well, boys, we're hitting 2 hours. We want to call it alive.
we're
I think
dead.
that's
Wrap
a good
it up.
Friday night.
Wrap it up.
Cut it out.
Oh,
Cat
wow.
Williams. There you go. Cat Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is a funny little part there.
Yeah.
Why does he seem to look like the guard Samson over there? He was born with a credit score over 700.
Just like that.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. I swear it looks just like you, Joey. Can you milk me?
Yeah, you just grab it by the teats.
Hey,
You left yourself wide open, mustache. Sorry.
Oh, hey, I did it. I did it on purpose.
Oh my God.
Meow.
All right,
I'm not dancing
let's
around.
get out of here.
Let's end this live. Before we get
Come
unruly.
on, man. We got to play a few more. Huh?
Oh, we're done. We're done. Wrap it up.
Don't
you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Pow!
Later. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm out.